Hi everyone, I'm Thea and I'm here today with Dr. Catherine Jones from Buglife. Hi Catherine, how are you doing?
Hi Thea, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Can you tell us why bugs are so important to our ecosystem?
Yeah, sure. Bugs are the small things that run the world. They do lots of fabulous jobs. They do things like pollination, which helps produce food for us to eat. They also recycle nutrients. So when a tree dies or the leaves fall down on the ground, they recycle the nutrients and make fertile soil for us to grow our crops. They do lots of other things too, such as pest control. So things like wasps control caterpillars and aphids on your vegetables in your garden. So yeah, they do lots of different things and are really, really useful. Make the world go round.
What are the biggest threats to bugs in the UK?
There's actually quite a lot of threats to bugs, both in the UK and globally. So the main one I would say is probably habitat loss. So the poor bugs have very little food and nowhere to live. And the things that make this even worse are things like development. So if you build a new city or you build a new railway line, sometimes they destroy habitat and they don't replace it. So the bugs lose space to live. So the bugs need somewhere safe to live and something to eat. So that's the most important thing they need. And there are lots of other things that threaten them, things like pollution, light pollution, chemical pollution, pesticides. So yes, they have a lot of threats to contend with.
What is Buglife doing to help?
Well, Buglife, their mission is to stop the extinction of invertebrates and create sustainable populations. So we want all bugs to be safe and to have places to live in. So we have two main projects that we're running at the moment. One of them is beelines, which is creating habitat for pollinators along corridors so that the pollinators have something to eat, somewhere to live, and they can move across the countryside. And then the other campaign that we have running is called No Insect Extinction. I know that's a bit difficult to say, but it's No Insect Extinction. And we're trying to prevent the extinction of insects. So we want room for them to thrive. We want a safe place for them to live in. And we want people to have a friendlier relationship with them. So somebody like you who's interested in bees and wasps, particularly wasps, because wasps aren't very popular, is very important. And we'd like everybody to have a good relationship with insects and understand how important they are.
I have a bug hotel in my garden, but what else can young people like me do to help?
Bug hotels are fabulous, particularly for solitary bees. So if the holes in your bug hotel are between 3 and 7 millimeters, they're absolutely perfect for solitary bees. But obviously, you'd like to attract lots of different things to your garden. So lots of different habitats that provide food, such as flowers that provide nectar and pollen, or somewhere to live, such as dead wood, earth. Some insects like bumblebees create their nests in holes in the ground. So if you've got an old mammal hole or something, they'll create a nest in there. And another good thing to have in your garden is a pond, because you can attract aquatic insects and you can have a range of different flowers that live around the pond that attract different insects. The other things that lots of people can do is have fruit and vegetables in your garden. Now, fruit and vegetables, they're good for us and they're good for the insects and the other bugs. So yeah, I'd definitely grow fruit and veg in your garden, have a pond and create some home and provide some food for insects.
I have a few questions from my friends too. Sarah from Biggleswade asks, what are the best plants to encourage bugs to come to my garden?
Okay, so if I start with pollinators, so things like bees and hoverflies and butterflies and beetles, they come to flowers for pollen and nectar, which is food for them. So it's good to have a wide range of flowers in your garden. So whether that's wildflowers, which are really good for native insects, or whether that's fruit and vegetables flowering, or whether it's garden varieties, they can all be good for supporting insects. So the best things I would say in your garden are things like knapweed, which have a really nice big head that attract lots of bees. Clover is fabulous for bumblebees because they have quite long tongues and they can get in the flower. Things like dandelions or geraniums or yarrow or wild carrot have a really nice open flower that attract lots of different insects. My personal favourite in the flower department is a foxglove. Foxglove has a beautiful pink tubular flower. It's attractive and it's absolutely fabulous for bumblebees.
Danny asks, are there any bugs nearly extinct because of humans?
Sadly, there are. So I've dug out one example that I think is really important. So there's a little spider called a distinguished jumping spider. And it's quite rare. It's only found in 2 sites in England, or in the UK even. One of them's in Kent and one of them's in Essex. And this little spider and about 2,000 other invertebrate species are found at a site called Swanscombe in Kent. And there's a threat to that from development. So there's a proposed development of a theme park. So it's really sad that if this theme park goes ahead, habitat that currently has about 2,000 species of invertebrates and other things like birds, nightingales, cuckoos, marsh harriers, and things like common lizards. I mean, this site is such a good site. It could be a site of special scientific interest, and yet there's a proposed development threatening these species. Yeah, unfortunately, there are threats to UK invertebrate species.
Last question is from Jessica in Newcastle. What's your favourite bug and why?
Oh, that's a really difficult question. So I love lots of different sorts of bugs because I find them absolutely fascinating. So when I first started being interested in bugs, I was quite young and I used to sit in long grass with wildflowers and have a picnic. I used to love watching all the insects visiting the flowers. And the ones that really caught my eye were the bumblebees. And I'd probably say that the bumblebees are probably my favourite. And when I moved to Yorkshire about 7 years ago, and there's a bumblebee near where I live called the bilberry bumblebee, or Blaeberry bumblebee if you find one in Scotland. It's absolutely beautiful. It's got a really big orange tail, and I've never seen one before. And my cat is called Monty because the scientific name of the bilberry bumblebee is Bombus monticola. So my cat's called Monty for Monticola. What kind of insects do you like?
It's hard to choose, but I like butterflies, ladybirds, bees and wasps.
Yeah, that's a good choice. Quite attractive and colourful insects you've chosen there, and quite good ones that you can actually identify as well because you see them around in your garden.
Thanks so much, Catherine. Do you have any final messages for our viewers?
Yes, I do. I think that everybody can help to prevent extinctions of insects and help their populations to thrive. And I would really encourage everyone to get involved and make a difference. And I really applaud you for promoting the plight of insects. And there's lots of information on Buglife, on the Buglife website. So if you want to find out how to create a wildlife pond, you can find information there and lots of other information too.
Brilliant. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this interview. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Thinking Thea for more tips on helping our planet. Bye.